Welcome to the high definition walkthrough of the Bay Sports 2021 model Expedition Zero kayak. This beautiful kayak is the entry range kayak in our Expedition range and comes in at just 25 kilograms thanks to our 3-layer foam core construction. The kayak is 4.85 meters long and has a width of 56 centimeters across and an overall height of 30 centimeters. The maximum weight capacity of this kayak is 150 kilograms, so it's enough for most people plus a bit of gear for an overnight camping trip, etc. It has a total volume of 305 litres, which means the front storage hatch has 52 litres of storage volume, whilst the rear hatch has 90 litres of storage. The length from the back of the footrest to the front most furthest forward footrest position is 127 centimeters. So it's suitable for people up to around 6'2" in height. The cockpit size is 81 centimeters from front to back, whilst the width is 43 centimeters. So it's a nice open recreational style cockpit. So starting from the front of the kayak, you can see from the side on, this kayak doesn't have a whole lot of rocker. It does have quite a nice V-shaped bow. However, it doesn't have a huge amount of rocker, meaning it's ideal for rivers, lakes and dams, but also capable for ocean kayaking. If you're going to be using this primarily for ocean paddling, where you have more waves, swell and chop, you'd be better off looking at the Expedition 1 model, which has a lot more rocker, which is the curvature from the bow to the stern, as that'll handle ocean paddling much better. So starting from the front of the kayak, there is a nylon grab handle with a rubber casing. So there's one at the front and one at the back for easy transportation. As you move down, you can see there is reflective deck rigging, which runs from the front of the boat all the way to the back. This reflective deck rigging has little reflective pieces scattered throughout it, so that's excellent for sunrise and sunset kayaking, where you might not have the best visibility on the water from boats passing by. So any light that shines on this reflective pieces will illuminate for your visibility and safety. A little storage at the front for a water bottle. It's just a little bungee cord. As we move down to the front hatch, we've got these circular rubber hatches from Kayak Sport hatch covers. There is quite a lot of storage on these for multi-day expeditions. So this front hatch here has approximately 52 litres of water volume. Inside there is a sealed bulkhead. So the sealed bulkhead makes sure that the storage in the front here remains dry even when you have water splashing into the cockpit. So these are sealed bulkheads both at the front and the rear of the kayak. The hatches are watertight. You will unlikely get any water in there if sealed properly. However, any valuables or electronics, always recommended to put it into a proper dry bag, which are completely waterproof. Moving further down onto the deck, you can see that there is more bungee cord. This is good for putting another dry bag on the deck. Easy access because it's nice and close to reach from the cockpit. And then as we move further down, we've got a 8-inch twist lock hatch. Now this has got a inner high quality nylon bag. So this is for storing stuff like your mobile phone, perhaps apple or some sun cream, stuff that you want to be able to easily reach from your seated position. The volume capacity in there is about 15 litres, so not a huge amount of room in there. However, it is quite convenient and is again watertight. So if sealed properly, you're not going to get any water just rushing in there. The key is to properly seal it by twisting it so that it falls into the slots. When you feel it fall down, you turn it tight clockwise and then give it one extra strong twist to really get the seal there. So that's good for storage. As you can see here, there's these little drain channels that actually run through here, down the side of the cockpit rim and back down into the water. So this design is by a Swedish kayak designer, Björn Thomasson. So beautiful kayak design. And these water drainage channels, so when the water splashes up over the deck, it actually runs into these channels and it self-drains back down into the water. So it won't keep too much water sitting aft of the cockpit. As we move down, you can see we've got this quite a large open recreational cockpit. So it's excellent for getting in and out of. Because these are all beginner to intermediate range kayaks, the cockpits are a little wider, so it makes it easier to get in and out, and it doesn't feel too restrictive. So the cockpits here can be fitted with a spray deck or a kayak cover. Spray deck stopping the water splashing in and getting the cold winter water splashing on your legs, whilst also in summer it prevents you from getting sunburnt legs. The cockpit covers are made from a high quality 3.5mm neoprene and are one size fits all. You can see in the cockpit we have the inbuilt knee or thigh braces. These are made from a high quality foam and are adjustable. So you can move them forward or back just by unscrewing these two screws and adjusting the knee braces. The knee braces are nice and soft padding underneath here. So as you push your thigh or knees up into them, it feels nice and comfortable. And they're there to support your lower back. So as you're powering through the water, as you're using your upper body, you need to stabilize your lower body, and that's why these are fitted to the kayak. So these greatly help relieve your lower back from pain you might experience, not whilst just out kayaking, but later on. So a really nice addition, and they come standard on the Expedition Zero model. As we look into the cockpit, you can see there is our premium 2021 model adjustable footrests. These footrests have both a foot plate and a toe control at the top. The toe control is what controls the rudder on the kayak. So your foot rests, the ball of your foot rests on the plate, whilst your toes push on the toe plate to push it forward, hence changing the direction of the rudder. Pushing on the right hand side turns the kayak right, and conversely pushing on the left hand side pushes the kayak, turning it left. The beauty of this 2021 model and the upgraded footrests is the adjustable footrests are now super easy to change by simply lifting up here. You can push forward to adjust it further away for those in that sort of 6'2" height range, or easily adjustable. You pull it up, slide it all the way back and slot it down to lock it in place. So this is a really simple, much quicker way to adjust the footrest. So your paddle partners can jump and swap kayaks if you would like to. Running down the sides, this kayak is fitted out with premium accessories and features, such as the use of 316 stainless steel. So super strong, it's not going to break, and it's very, very long life. As you can see inside the cockpit, this is our 3-layer core construction foam. So this is a blend of the high density polyethylene, known as HDPE, infused with the HDPE foam. So as mentioned, it makes it stronger, yet allows us to shave a few kilograms of weight off your traditional HDPE construction. The center of the kayak is the built-in touring seat. It's a lovely design, and it comes fitted with a nice, strong, high-density foam. So you've got good support under the bum, whilst there is an adjustable backrest to give you support on your lower back. On the back there is an adjustable strap that you can pull on either side if you'd like it to give you a more upright position, or you can loosen the straps to loosen it so you can lean back. See behind the seat there is the second sealed bulkhead, which separates the main compartment from the rear storage area. Then behind the seat here is a groove, so you can put your paddle behind you and tie it on if you want to get it out of the way to put on sun cream or grab a drink of water, for example. On the back you've got some more storage, usually for items or gear that you might not need to access so easily during your paddle, as it's a little bit difficult to turn around and grab. However, you've got some bungee storage here, so again you can fit a 20 litre dry bag there easily. On the right hand side of the cockpit you have your deck ball and rope system. This is all connected down to the rudder system, and if you release this bungee cord which holds the rudder securely in place, as you jump into the kayak you can simply pull on the deck ball, and doing so from the cockpit you release the rudder into the water as you head out on your journey. As you're heading back into finishing your paddle, simply pull the other deck ball. It pulls the rudder back out of the water and safely into its molded slot, so that you won't damage it as you come into shallow waters such as rocks or concrete on a boat ramp. In the rear, as mentioned, we have this, again, another Kayak Sport rubber hatch cover. This is where you'll be able to store the most amount of gear. And if you look inside here, you can see there's quite a lot of room. Whilst not a lot of height, as mentioned before, it's about 25 centimeters height in this rear storage, while there's 30 centimeters of height at the main cockpit at the maximum height. You can see inside there's quite a fair amount of storage. You could put a two-man camping tent. You could put a day bag with about 60 litres of gear easily in there. Even a doona could fit in here if squished and rolled up. So plenty of storage. Again, these are designed for multi-day expeditions, so plenty of gear if that's what you wish to do. Moving further down the kayak, we've got another bungee cord storage area. So you can see there's plenty of storage on this kayak, both inside and on top of the deck. And at the back we have another grab handle, so you can carry and transport your kayak. At the very rear of the kayak, you have the new Smart Track premium rudder system. It's a plastic blade with a metal housing, so nice and strong, very reliable. These rarely have any issues in terms of braking, and the rudder system greatly improves the tracking of these kayaks. The whole design of these naturally makes them paddle in quite a straight line, also known as tracking. However, the rudder system further increases the tracking capability, whilst also making for easy manoeuvrability. So whilst these are great in the open bodies of water, they can also be quite manoeuvrable and great for coastal kayaking or paddling in small bodies of water. As mentioned, there's the stainless steel wiring that runs down. It is clamped onto the shackles which attach to your rudder system. So if you ever need to remove the rudder system for long distance travel or any other reason, you easily can unscrew the shackle on both sides, lift the rudder out and store it in the rear storage hatch. As you can see on the hull of this kayak, whilst it's a torpedo shaped hull, the bottom is actually quite flat. So this is what makes it ideal for beginners through to intermediates. So the flat bottom makes it quite stable. You might feel that it's a little bit tippy for your first 1 or 2 paddle strokes off the water, but as you get a bit of momentum and speed, you don't have to consciously think about keeping your balance the whole time. The build quality is best in class, with no traces of air bubbles inside the UV stabilized plastic walls, meaning your kayak is superior in its durability and won't crack like brittle plastic kayaks prone to air bubbling. All of our expedition kayaks are tested to ensure 3.5mm thickness. They're drop tested to ensure perfect plastic bond, and balance tested for optimum stability. Included with the kayak is all the features you can see on here, plus a 2-piece plastic touring paddle. It is made of an aluminium shaft with 3 offset positions depending on your paddle style. You can simply push in and adjust. It has these grip tapes applied onto the kayak paddle which is nice to touch because in winter the aluminium is freezing to touch. It also provides extra grip. If you have sun cream on your hands, the aluminium's slippery, whilst these grip tapes give you nice grip, especially when your hands get wet from the water. Moving down, you've got the water stoppers. So as you paddle through the water and the water runs down the blade, the first point is the drip stop here, cut into the blade, where water repels back into the ocean. And secondly, any excess water that hits here will hit these drip stop and run down into the water. It's got a touring style blade. As you can see, it's a lot more thinner and more narrow than your traditional fishing kayak blades. So this is a Bay Sports plastic touring paddle. Nice and light.